Titan commands the sky. Phantom makes the darkness fly. Lightbringer turns the night to day. Xenofreeze locks the storm away. Shine calls the ancient might. Pulsar burns with stellar light. Six mighty hearts, the battle's begun. Electron's children fight as one. Legacy, legacy, heroes united, rise. Legacy, legacy, defenders of earth and sky. Born of courage, bound by night begins to fall. Electrum's children answer, one by one they hear the call. Born with power, forged as one, 6 defenders now arise. Side by side they face the danger, thunder rolling through the skies. Children of Electrum, standing together to fight. Children of Electrum, carrying power and light. No fear can break them, no darkness stands in their way. The future belongs to the legacy. Like Hyperion commands the sky, Heat Phantom makes the darkness fly. Like Bringer turns the night to day, Xenofreeze locks the storm away. Shine calls the ancient might, Pulsar burns with stellar light. 6 mighty hearts, the battle's begun. Electrum's children fight as one. Legacy, legacy, heroes united rise. Legacy, legacy, defenders of earth and sky. Born of courage, bound by destiny. Children of Electrum, the legacy. Children of Electrum, standing together to fight. Children of Electrum, carrying power and light. No fear can break them, no darkness stands in their way. The future belongs to the legacy. Legacy, legacy. Children of Electrum, rise. Legacy, legacy. Guardians of Earth.
Some of those things were more intuitive questions rather than practically going.
Yeah, because I'm sometimes not put any thumbs up or anything, and I still got something really good. So
Yeah, and sometimes I use Dale's thumbs.
Yeah. As weird as that is.
Okay, so there we go.
Awkward.
I-
Shelly has a
Stop
voodoo doll
using
of
my
Dale.
thumb.
I know she's over there like,
You. Here, let me okay, lift your thumb, Dale, to make it believable.
No.
So we have everybody back for a game tonight. Also, we are rolling for karma since it is the beginning of the month.
Yeah, I can't believe
And I
that.
don't think we have anybody with August birthdays, correct?
Mm-mm.
Not me.
My wife and son.
In the
I
game,
tried that.
did we get
That's right.
Murica's birthday last month?
Yes.
We did.
250.
We actually
Yeah.
did.
All right.
Yep, we
you,
did.
you would know if you had shown your face around here.
Oh.
Oh.
Burn.
Words hurt, Brittany.
To your safe space.
All right.
Anyways, so we need somebody to give us our recap, and we also need to roll for karma.
Why don't we
So-
go ahead and do karma and get that out of the way, and then
Sure.
I'll do the recap.
And then we can, and if I could get Dale to remind us who is on deck for spending karma.
Right. Let's see here. So Brittany, it is her turn in the
Oh, boy.
cycle. I'll go ahead and roll karma so we know how much. We've
Okay,
got
so that
now.
means the rest of us won't spend karma until next year.
Nice. Wow. Okay, so roll 6.
Wait, does Brittany
Okay.
level up this character, or
Well, she only spends
That's what I
it once
do.
a year.
Because people are always on me to take my turn.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so we earned 1,800 karma this month, and adding that to what we've got. Our
Are you
group
done
bank
yet,
is
Britt?
now at 7,605.
Nice. Okay, so
It's
we
been
find
like 47
Hyperion
seconds.
finished up creating a equipper for his Dexamite port in his back. As he puts the last finishing touches, he calls Shone to see how she is in regards to the blueprints to his new sword. She is almost done, and she puts down the last of her notes. Once she puts the last of her notes, she'll bring it to them. She asks how he's going to control the weapon. He tells her about the scabbard that will connect into his port. They meet up. Hyperion sets the sword into the forge queue and then asks her if she had thought about what to do in regards to her people. She tells him that she feels she needs to return to Egypt. She wants to track down a Professor Cairo Hassan, an Egyptologist and archaeologist for the Cairo Museum and College. She also wants to see if she can find Sobek, a lesser god that served her mother. Hyperion gleaned information about the civilization and how the caste worked. She explained to him about the higher gods, lesser gods, and then dirt, which was her. She told him she was considered an abomination. Heliopolis did not mate outside of their race. It was frowned upon, and her mother received a lot of grief for falling in love with Electrum and conceiving a half breed. She explained that the higher gods were very powerful, and the lesser gods, as was the lesser gods, but not as much. And then she was considered weak. The two of them go find Heat Phantom, explain to him what is going on. Shone teleports them about 10 miles outside of the Cairo city limits. They realize that they landed close to the international airport, not wanting to have to explain why or how they got there. They go into the private area of the airport. Shone teleports them a bit closer so they could blend in better with those coming and going. They find a information booth, find a hotel, they exchange monies, take a shuttle to the hotel. Shone doesn't want to be in a room by herself, so she shacks up with her brothers. The next morning, Shone calls the professor's number and it goes straight to the answer machine. She called the main switchboard and was told that the professor was supposed to be in today. They hail a cab and drive across the city, taking in some of the sights on the way. Once there, Shone leads them to his office, which she does remember from being there once before. When they get there, the door is ajar. Shone knocks and pushes the door open while calling out. No one answers, so she steps in. She sees the statue of Sobek, which makes her smile, and she moves. When she moves to touch it, she stops when she noticed something was wrong. There were tall tale signs that the office had been ramshackled. Telling her brothers this, they started searching around. Heat Phantom finds a hurried scribbled note in chalk under the desk. Hyperion manages to translate it with the help of an Arabic to English dictionary. Not safe here. Lower archives bring nothing that came through Tavaxian hands. They headed down to the archives. When they come to a couple of guards guarding the stairwell, Shone teleports them to the landing behind them. They send Heat Phantom ahead to scout. He accidentally knocks over some books. Hype and Shone quickly make their way down. With Hyperion, they jump into an unused office as a guard scopes out the noise and restacks the books. Once the guard moved on, Hyperion creates a soft copy to do the carpet shark thingy and scouts out the floor. He finds another stairwell, but it leads up and he finds another room that looks like the archive. There's an individual inside that looks shaken but is working. He shows Shone what he looked like. Shone is sure it's the professor. She poofs him straight into the room that the professor is in. She softly speaks his name, but in ancient Egyptian tells him, please don't scream. It turns out to be Professor Cairo Hassan. He's surprised to see her. She introduces her brothers and asks if he has any combat contact with Sobek. He tells her not in a while. He does start to tell her about the Imperial Tavaxian transport that was found in the desert. There were survivors. He was able to get the passenger manifest. There were other Heliopolis on that ship, but there were no signs of them. The professor tells them that they were ancient Egyptians. Yeah, there were seven Heliopolians, a Yobari officer, and others. He was giving a. I spelt it right, but I don't know how to pronounce the tablet. The fiance tablet. Do you
Something like
remember?
that.
Yeah. After he reviewed the materials that the Vaxians believed was an ancient Egyptian artifact, the religions and symbols on the artifact were authentic, but the material itself didn't match any ancient Egyptian fiance. He thought perhaps it had been manufactured somewhere beyond Earth and carried a household symbol associated with her mother, Nunet. He didn't have the actual artifact, but was allowed to make a copy of it. He did, however, manage to get a fragment which had broken off during his examination. He showed the inscription: "The Nile flows beneath the second sun. Gather those in whom the old blood remains." There was a marker on it that said incomplete. The professor speculates that someone is collecting individuals connected to Nanette. He was able to trace the damaged transport registry back to other Tavaxian shipping records. Several months later, the same registry number appeared on another transport. He speculates that a it was a deliberate copy which was attached to another vessel that entered the Sol system under diplomatic authorizations, and that vessel transferred a sealed container to Earth. It was labeled genealogically material belonging to displaced World House and delivered to Strongford, Colorado, a few weeks ago. The professor doesn't believe the disappearance of the 11 was a random act of piracy. He has a loose working theory that they are being selected due to their ancestry. He is convinced that this is the work of the Devaxians. Shown asked what gods the missing 11s were associated with, but Professor wasn't able to link them to any records they had. Sean thinks the individuals could be Demis like herself. He calculates that the Nile and the second sun could point to a cultural rebirth. The professor told them that when he touched the fragment, he received a brief dream of a golden city underneath a black sun. Mm, in the dream, there was people that seemed to enter voluntarily, but others were unconscious or restrained. When Shone held the fragment, she sees the symbol of her mother and the hieroglyph for incomplete on it. Upon contact, she sees the same dream. She asks Mark to use his Edic memory to memorize the fragment. In the back of her mind, she does hear, "Do not let them complete the census." She gives the professor a frequency to contact them directly, and they prepared to leave. And the VIP went to me. Bada boom, bada bang.
So I will let you guys pick it up from there. Those of you who are at last game, I'm sure you guys are aware of what's going on and where you're at. And in character, take it away.
Yes, so I guess Shone will teleport them back home if they are ready to head back.
Now, I would imagine at this point you guys are already back at the vein. There's no sense in you
Okay.
staying in Egypt as of this point because you had a lead here in Strongford.
Exactly.
Okay.
So go ahead and continue. I'll be right back getting a drink.
Now that we're back, I'll contact the rest. Everyone should be made aware of what we just went through and learned.
Okay.
Hyperion to the Legacy. Anyone who isn't currently at the Vein, please arrive at the Vein as soon as you can. We have information that we need to discuss.
Roger that. On my way.
Pulsar like sluggishly like answers back, like pulls himself out of bed. He's all achy and ugh, looks at the soft scrub outfit that's all ripped up. He's like, "Ugh. Be right there." Yeah, he'll take whatever mode of transportation. I actually don't know how he gets to the vein.
I mean, I guess it's not as easy for you to fly as it is for me.
Yeah, because if they see just like a cosmic entity just flying and landing from my backyard, it might be a little but
Yeah,
I
they'll be
guess
like, where's that thing going?
yeah. I guess I'll
Yeah.
go for a jog and then I'll do the Spider-Man pizza thing, run into an alley, and then just fly out of that.
There you go. That works. Does Xenofreeze respond to the call?
Yeah.
Blub.
I'd be at the vein
Ah.
probably.
Okay.
Since I heard you guys got back, then I would be refocusing on stuff that's not directly related to the Soul Company.
Okay. All right. So once everyone gets there, after however many minutes, he gathers everybody in the ready room and goes, "All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. Such short notice. I know we were all off, but, well, Shone, Heat Phantom, and myself went on a field trip to Cairo specifically.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, as you might imagine, we were trying to find information related to her people, the Heliopolins, and what's been happening since she's had contacts in Cairo who've lived there since she arrived here. We thought that we'd speak to them to see if they know anything about her people. But it turns out that her main contact, one Professor Cairo Hassan, actually gleaned some troubling information. There seemed to be a multicultural crew of alien beings, aliens that we know of, Tabaxians, Ubari, and so forth, who have been apparently kidnapping specific Heliopolins. From what we've gathered, they're trying to gather certain individuals that are a part of specific Heliopolin genetic lines. There seems to be some sort of prophecy, but we don't know exactly what it means or what it would lead to, especially if all of these specific Heliopolins were successfully acquired.
Is Shone part of this genetic line?
I would think that it's likely that she is.
Tavaxians aren't usually fond of working together with other races. Who is this group?
That we're also not sure of. It's unclear if they're some sort of pirate faction or some other group led by someone who has ulterior motives. But again, it's unclear what gathering all of these specific Heliopolins together would do. Although apparently Shone believes that it is necessary that we prevent this. She heard a voice when she made physical contact, or at least after she made physical contact with an ancient artifact. It apparently told her to don't let them complete the census. It would seem that the census has to do with the gathering of these specific Heliopolins.
And we have not
Do
been able
you-
to determine what the outcome or potential dangers or ramifications of this family reunion would have.
The only implications we could glean are from one prophecy we were able to obtain, which is simply the Nile flows beneath the second sun. Gather those in whom the old blood remains.
Do we know of any planets that have two suns?
Well, we kind of threw around a few theories. One of them that it's here. Um,
Are you aware of any other rivers named the Nile in your native home of Heliopolis in the on your planet or
well,
dimension?
yeah.
There are other rivers named the Nile.
Well, there. Yeah. I mean,
It would seem that our Nile is likely actually named after the river in Heliopolis. As she's pointing out, one of our main theories is that something will happen in Cairo around the Nile at a specific point in time, or once this census has been completed. But it's unclear what exactly would happen after that. The only lead that we currently have is that of a delivery that we know was made to Strongford. It has to do with these Heliopolins.
yeah,
Sean,
and thing is that it, it's the professor kind of thought that this all has to do with my mother's house, um, and me being her daughter. We think I could be at risk.
Sean, do you have knowledge of the um, the structure of your people's government and how it operates?
Jerome,
What?
he's asking if she has knowledge of how her people's government.
I mean, you have a pharaoh. Everybody listens to the pharaoh, or at least had, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not much different than how it was here on Earth during ancient Egypt. We had a pharaoh, you had your priest, your advisors.
Is there anything that involves numbers, like a majority, or in some way the amount of a particular house generates its influence or power?
Sorry, guys, my kid's cooking.
The reason I ask is a census, by our definition, is to obtain an exact number of a population or a group. So it comes to my mind that if they are performing a census, they are trying to determine an exact number of perhaps the uh, people of the old blood that are remaining. And if there is a significance to the amount of numbers in a particular population, they may be trying to identify or remove a power base.
Are your is your ancestry and your blood with being a descendant of your mother um, similar to the legends of Greek mythology, the demigods or half breeds of those gods typically had domain to some lesser degree over the elements or spheres of influence that their godly parentage had. So a child of Hades would have influence over the dead. Uh, a son of Poseidon would have some sort of, command of the sea or of water. Is that the same with your pantheon? Because that would point to perhaps they're striving to, and do your siblings or do the children of your god, those gods,
You
the
could go ahead and
Heliopolins,
caramelize the apples, yeah.
yeah,
So
would
sorry,
it be something that would be advantageous for another god to get rid of that power base? Is
I
my
hit
point.
the speaker instead of the microphone. So are you asking about her mother? I'm dealing with a child who's trying to cook and threw half of our ingredients out by accident. So you just asked about her mother, is that correct?
I'm asking about what he asked was, so out of character recap. I was asking, do the Heliopolins, um, does their biology work similarly to how the Greek gods allegedly had, a son of Poseidon would have command over water, a son of Zeus might have, you know, some sort of dominion over lightning or storms or something along those lines. Would a son of or child of Ra be, uh have like gain additional power from being in the sun,
Right.
or things like that.
Um
um
mm, Probably. I'm not a full-blooded, so
but do you have traits that
I
are
think
patterned after your mother, and do
I
your
got no,
other
because
half siblings?
I don't control anything water wise. My mother was the goddess of the Nile. Um,
And perhaps you are the anomaly, but are you aware if your half siblings or other relatives are falling under that, and if there is another god or another entity for that matter that would gain advantage eliminating your bloodline,
so does
aside
she,
from aside from political?
Jerome? Does she have any half siblings?
No.
I didn't think so. Unfortunately, I don't have any siblings, half siblings, or whatever. I I always assumed I got my powers from our father. Um,
What is it about this bloodline that makes it stand out? Is it royalty?
Possibly. Um, I mean,
Could it be,
you have your greater gods, who would be at the very top, and
would
then
they
you
be
have your lesser
considered the old
gods.
would those be considered the old blood, as they say, as they're referring to?
Um, mm, Possibly. A lot of your lesser gods, some of them were like children of other gods. Um,
Do you
so
suppose do you suppose that these deities in other cultures might also be descendants of the Dexmites?
that I don't know. I had never heard the term Dexamite prior to coming here. Um,
Well, they wouldn't.
Heliopolins are not ones to get together outside of our own
Well,
race.
yes, but I mean, time would have sufficiently passed that any real knowledge of their ancestors would have faded and and
And
even around the universe, the Dexamite gene has been sufficiently clouded from memory.
and
I mean,
in
if we,
addition to the Dexamites, if our father is any indication, are quite adept at biological manipulation, considering the fact of all of you who are biologically sons and daughters, respectively, of our father, I do not match up with your biology at all. And the fact that he was able to procreate with my mother, who is, for lack of a better term, in earthen terms, a giant amoeba that is able to manipulate her physical shape, but not her physical form or attributes in that aspect, only simply shape. We can take a humanoid form, but if we were to, we don't have essentially blatant organs like a humanoid does. All of our cells work independently yet in conjunction with one another. Our biology is quite unique, and the fact that he was able to do it. My point is being that a Dexamite individual may have been able to infiltrate your society or the Heliopolis society and intersperse some Dexamite blood into that gene pool.
I don't suppose we have access to any deity DNA.
I mean,
Do we?
I'm part of our father, so I mean, I have, I guess,
I
Dexamite.
do I do have samples of
Yeah,
all of our blood, and I can isolate, I can seek to isolate specifically Shown's non-Dexamite
that would
genetics.
be that would be interesting. Although if the deities are simply descendant of Dexamite DNA, then it would be harder to isolate that.
Well, yeah, because
Um,
we would
But
have to
it's
get
they
a hold of,
annihilate them.
we would have to find another deity.
uh, I have a question because you guys mentioned Strongford. Something was delivered here. You guys saw a cargo manifest. Did you get the address?
Oh, good point. Sorry, we're getting off track with the.
Well, because I think
Sorry,
we could speculate for years about
I don't think
what
he
they're
gave
doing, but
us. I don't think he gave us a.
the location.
No,
but
he just
yeah,
said that
You
it was
guys had the
delivered.
address.
Oh, did he give us the address?
yeah.
Hmm.
I think rather than try to theorize
Oh,
about the millions of possibilities out there, why don't we just go to this place where the genetic material or genealogical material was being sent to? Because it's in our city, so you know, you being here also means that yeah, more than likely they probably had their eye on you too. Let's go investigate that. I think we'll learn more from going there than I think kind of theorizing what Electrum's
That's a good
Captain
point.
Captain
yeah.
Kirkness is up to.
Well, and because of that, I'm also going to be staying here at the vein, just just to be careful.
Rather than sleeping at your own place, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood.
Uh,
Helios, let me give you an address in Strongford and tell me what's there. And then he goes ahead and says the address of where the thing was delivered.
Affirmative. One moment. Scanning Alta Vista. Confirmed. That address belongs to Meridian Cultural Recovery Services.
What information do you have on Meridian Cultural Delivery Services?
He explains that it is a fairly new company. It's also fairly new to Strongford, and it was a business created after the Skyfall War. Typically, it handles damaged museum collections, alien wreckage with possible cultural value, and artifacts that governments do not want sitting in ordinary evidence warehouses.
Okay.
Can you see
Interesting.
who's funding it?
Negative. The address listed is listed to that company, and it sits in the old freight district near the edge of Fairside.
Who's the owner of it? Is that public knowledge?
Negative. There is not an owner listed.
Interesting. And keeping it in Fairside.
And created
Does-
after the Skyfall War? Sounds.
Does it have business hours?
Correct. Their typical business hours go from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Well, let's go take a look.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to go into this place incognito?
It's likely that we can, but it would be strange if we arrived randomly without having an actual reason to be there. Let's see.
I wonder,
Was
would our biological aspects of Quantum Unlimited give us, I'm sure we could realize some sort of business proposition to assist them in the identification, control of possible items, research, a joint venture, if you will.
It would seem that would fall under Q-Tech's purview. Technology that could help them to reassemble or fix these damaged artifacts that they're receiving. Interesting.
Jerome, was Strongford a major focal point for the war?
Most major cities were. Thank you for the follow. So yes, it did get some direct attention during the war.
But was there any, besides the legacy, was there any other draws to this city for the war? I mean, was it, were there other defense resources here, or?
That's a great question. Would you like to ask that in character?
Of course, I would be very interested to know if this
All of a
if
sudden,
this
this accent.
city had a significant focal aspect of the war.
So Helios puts a hand emoji on his screen.
Talk to the hand.
Like a wait or a stop,
Nope.
or like a
Like he's holding his hand up.
Oh, for a
you
high
have a
five.
question?
Yes, Helios.
May I interject with Heat Phantom's question?
Of course.
To answer your question, there was a reasonable sized superhero defense force, as well as some partnerships with the Aegis Foundation, helping to keep the city intact. This is where the Tomorrow Guard were first formed, and it is also listed that Sledgehammer as well as Wraith were active in the defense of the city.
There's also that
Perhaps Lightbringer needs to make a phone call.
It strikes me as odd that a foundation that deals with alien relics would pop up here in this city unless there was a major reason or support that existed during and before the war for it.
It may very well be a front, especially if we don't have access to ownership information. There is typically not much reason to prevent the public from knowing who owns what building or what organization unless that organization is illegitimate.
Or it's a problem of 1995 technology. That wasn't something you could readily pull up necessarily online at that point.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to like the city hall and find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think no matter what, I think a visit to this place will yield us more information.
Could
Should we?
send in a single person, and then the rest of us just be on guard or on shoot.
Standby, perhaps?
Yes.
Perhaps two people. Two people in a business application are often commonplace. If we are going under the premise of potentially assisting, then having one lead and one support person, the proverbial, can our company do that as a president who doesn't know the internal intricacies of the operations?
An executive and their assistant.
Exactly.
Then, Ms. Cook, who will your assistant be? You are the president of QTech?
Do wonder if this is the type of inquiry that a company president might put forward. It seems maybe a bit more indirect than stopping by their office personally. Would be more appropriate.
Giving them a phone call first and establishing the desire to actually meet with them in person would make sense. It would make sense if that call came from you, since you are the leader of QTech.
Wish we knew a little bit more about their about their work before reaching out.
That could be a part of why you're reaching out and why you actually want to get to know them. You've only heard a little bit of what they do, realize that they came into existence after the Skyfall War, and may deal with specific artifacts that seem irretrievable or heavily damaged. Given QTech's technological capabilities, it's possible to form some sort of partnership, but to know for sure, you would need to speak to them and visit their facility.
I like that.
Helios, is this like, it's not a museum. This is like a laboratory facility, yes?
Negative. It's a storage facility.
Oh, it's just a storage facility. Okay, interesting.
Think of this like like the storage facilities you might find around the town. However, this is for more more tech. This is for more a more secure premise.
Okay, so this is a warehouse.
Is there a
perhaps-
base of operations or a home office location that you're able to find information on? For this
Correct.
company?
The home office is listed at New York City.
Okay, that helps me.
We could see about doing a tour there or meeting there. Or if they perhaps wanted to come and check on the status of their content here in Strongford. It gives us a reasonable lead in of we see this new company and storage in our town, and upon a brief overview we realize what it is on the surface of what they're doing, and it intrigues us, and perhaps we may be able to partner up.
Perhaps we're in possession of some materials that we would like more secure storage for. Would like to examine their premises.
Excellent. That
A
makes
good
sense.
angle there as well.
Should probably figure out what it is you want to claim to store, so that way if they're asking for specifics, you can, you don't have to be vague about it.
We could be specifically vague.
Well, yeah, well, but like if we're like, oh, it's if they're like, oh, well, what do you plan to store? Because they, depending on the size or depending on the volatility, like they may say, oh no, if it's radioactive, we can't keep it, or if it's a big tub of goo, we can't keep that either.
Well,
Having
Go
Helios
ahead.
has a hand appear on the screen again.
Yes,
we
Helios.
suspect that they are collecting Heliopolin biological material, right? Perhaps we have some alien biological material.
Of course, we don't know that they would be offering that knowledge, that they are actually harboring that. Helios, is there any information online as to what they specifically hold, or is that knowledge kept private?
Apparently, that knowledge is kept private. Might I offer a suggestion?
Of course.
You wish to store the Hyperion boot.
Interesting. An unstable interdimensional artifact.
Precisely.
I mean, that gives you a specific thing to talk about. It would be like going into a bank to case the joint, and they're like, what would you like a loan for? And you don't know what you want a loan for.
Right.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get some drink myself.
Where do we currently have that boot?
It is currently in a drawer.
Okay. Should we bring the boot with us?
Keeping it in a type of sufficient container would likely be good enough. We could simply indicate that it is, as I mentioned, an interdimensional unstable artifact. The box that is within keeps it somewhat stable, but we wanted a place to actually store this until we develop the technology necessary to study it properly and or stabilize it.
Hyperion, why don't you come pose as my assistant?
Excellent.
You can handle the technical jargon.
I'm good at that. Yes, that
Yes,
makes
you
sense.
are.
I will, however, leave it to you to make the phone call to set up the appointment. I think that would make the most sense.
That I can do. Helios, if you'd be so kind as to dial.
Where am I dialing?
Meridian Cultural Recovery Services here in Strongford.
Affirmative. Dialing.
Do they have caller ID?
So they, phone starts ringing. He pushes it to a phone on the counter. So that way, it's legit. You're not talking, you're like talking up into the air, making it sound like you're on speakerphone.
Right.
And then a woman ends up answering. Meridian Cultural Recovery Services. How can I help you?
Yes, this is Carmen Cook from QTech Enterprises. I wonder if I might speak with your manager, please.
And might I ask what this is in regards to?
Assessment of your facilities and potential partnership with my company.
Super. Hold just one moment, please.
Hi, Dee.
Na 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 na.
Yeah.
Then a a male voice comes on the phone. This is the managing director of Meridian Cultural Recovery Services.
Yes, may I get your name, please?
My name is Cedric, ma'am. How can I assist?
This is Carmen Cook, CEO of QTech Enterprises here in Strongford. It's come to my attention that you are right in our backyard, and I'd like to see if we have potential business interests that align.
Very well. Did you have something specific in mind, or was it just a general conference?
I would love to see your facilities, in fact, get to know a little bit more about the scope of your work. And, there's precious little available. Um, so if we could get a little better idea of your operations, I think you may be um, what we have in mind for specific projects.
Very well. If you are free, I have an opening today at 1 p.m.
I think I can rearrange something and make that work.
Well, excellent. Then we will see you then. I'll make sure that is penciled into my schedule. If for some reason you're unable to make it, please just try to let me know at least 15 minutes ahead of time. That way I can free that block up. But otherwise, we will look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you, Cedric. We will see you at 1 o'clock.
Excellent.
Was that the guy in New York or was it the guy in Strongford?
Strongford.
In Strongford.
Okay.
What time is it now, Jerome?
Right now it's 10 a.m.
Okay.
You got a little bit of time to do something if that's what you want to do.
Right.
Do we want to case the joint?
Well, it would make sense if a smaller force went to accomplish that. I think this would be right up Shone and Heat Phantom's alley, being able to go wherever you need and stealthily look at the location from outside to see what it's like. Meanwhile, I need to make an impressive looking box for a shoe. So that's what I'll be doing.
Is that shoe
Perhaps-
actually dangerous or?
Perhaps you can look
No.
up the
Okay.
style and fashion for the new and improved Air Jordan sneakers.
Huh. Interesting. A literal shoebox.
Is that going to give the impression of the shoes being dangerous that they need a special facility?
Probably not. I'll make a more impressive looking arrangement.
Some kind of a technical look to it.
Exactly.
Out of character, do the Nike swoosh backwards.
Like, it's familiar. I can't place my finger on it.
It's not a swoosh, it's a whoosh.
Oh, right. Completely different. Right. So, Shone and Heat Phantom, are you both willing to case that area in the meantime? Just preliminary information about what's there, anything suspicious, strange looking guards, or an intense type of security that you wouldn't expect, anything like that that you can glean from the outside. Obtain that, record it if possible, and then return with what you found. You are muted.
I am muted.
That is something that I could do, yes.
Yes, of course.
Excellent. And good luck with that mission. I'll go make the box. Lightbringer, make sure you're prepared for your 1 o'clock meeting in appropriate attire, of course, and I'll make sure to go with you there for that appointment.
I'll go home and change into a suit.
Excellent.
Anything else you need from me, or
You look out of sorts, Pulsar. Is everything all right?
still kind of achy from the match?
I see.
But Drum, have I healed back up to full
Yes.
by now? Okay.
Healing in your soul, or
No, it's my the he razored me up pretty bad, but
he really did. It was
yeah, just
a little
feeling
scary there at the end.
Yeah, not used to fighting in next to nothing, but yeah, I'll be on call, I guess, if you guys need me. But if there's nothing in particular, maybe I'll go try to hang out with my neighbors or something.
Excellent. You have a few hours to do so.
I couldn't imagine the dynamic. It's quite different when you're used to being in nothing and then having to wear attire.
Yeah. Well, see, if I was wearing an actual tire, I probably would be more protected than the getup that Lightbringer's boyfriend had me wearing. Can we make like a super version of that thing? If I have to wear that again, can we make one made out of like something that's not gonna tear off of me? Tomorrow. We could do it tomorrow.
I'm sure we could figure something out.
Yeah, or I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to my manager. Maybe me being disheveled like that is a plus. I don't know.
But have you sustained any permanent injuries from that battle, or have you healed physically completely?
Yeah, physically I'm all put back together. It's just I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It feels like like the wounds are closed up, but I just feel achy is all.
It did look like a painful battle for you. I'm glad you were able to pull through and win. It makes sense that you need at least some time to psychologically recover from that type of trauma, even if you did physically recover.
Yeah, I'm used to having the suit bear the brunt of a lot of the attacks and stuff. So not having it was seeing my own blood on the floor is also kind of not used to it. But I'll be fine.
All right. If you need anything, of course, let us know.
Sure. Thanks. Yeah, I'll be on comms if you guys need an explosive exit from your business meeting.
Cyclospora.
What was the name of that mutant whose powers just like he explodes? I can't remember. Chamber. There we go.
Yeah, but Chamber looked cool because he was like missing like part of his jaw and whatnot, flames.
Right.
And
You're saying
That's right.
Pulsar doesn't look cool? Okay, I understand.
It's like half his face. It was like from his nose down almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a cool superhero name too, Chamber. Dang.
Jerome, looking at the forge, can I see about how much longer it'll take the forge to finish Xenofreeze's hyperboat?
it's still in process. It'll be done in about the next 5 hours.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Shortly after we accomplish this meeting, we'll be able to test Xenofreeze's new vehicle.
That'll be fun.
We will. All right. Everyone has their assignments. Let's do it. And he hovers off down the hall to go make an impressive box.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and roll for that, Hyperion?
Right.
You are receiving assistance from Helios, obviously in doing so.
Sweet.
I have nothing better to go on. I can provide my meager assistance there as well.
We would hear that a lot better if you pulled your microphone down next to your mouth.
I'll help too.
Thank you.
Nice.
For
Okay,
what little
so-
I can do. Yeah. Sorry.
Right. Okay, rolls. That'll be a Shift X. Yellow feet.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, so you get it's a box sealed with keys and locks. Isn't it such a lovely looking box? You get it. I mean, you make it look kind of fancy in the sense of like it's still just a box, but you know, it looks like it has a purpose. However, you do see on the side of it, it says emotional support boot.
Awesome. Put the boot in there, my emotional support boot. Close it. Make sure the fancy lights on the side light up properly
Sure.
so it looks impressive. You know, get it all set.
And it has a covered case, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
So that it's not visible in transit.
Right. It's got a handle.
Good.
Makes it look, carrying it. It's got all the bells and whistles.
Perfect.
And a pair of handcuffs. Clips your hand to the handle.
I like that too.
Like it's the nuclear football.
Yeah, I like that.
When you open it, there's like some dry ice. It makes out like a whoof, like some smoke. Yeah,
I can
Strong
handle
bad
that part.
Strong bad would approve.
Yeah, I could definitely lose that part.
Okay.
There you go. Nice.
So who's doing what first? Are you going inside for your meeting? Are you casing the place first? What is
They're definitely gonna case it first.
okay?
Yeah.
So how are you guys getting there and how are you guys going to case it?
Well, Phantom's going to go obviously in full getup, full professional stealth mode.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Well, Phantom wouldn't know where in the city it is, so he'd need some directions at least to get there.
Sure.
Unless Sean just is gonna.
Well, Sean
manifest
doesn't
right
know
on
where
over.
Sean doesn't know where it's at either, so getting directions
No.
is still going to help. So
Yeah.
you print up a handy dandy Sierra Maps map for you there and marked on the on the map where it's at.
So I guess we can just like take a cab until we get there, and then get our
And-
uniforms and stuff on.
Okay. If that's what you guys want to do, that's fine.
It seems to work. Should.
Okay. So you guys take a taxi over that way, get dropped off relatively near, it's again an industrial park over here. So there's most of the buildings that are in this area build or fabricate something, that's the park itself has a bit of a smell to it, mostly like a faint chemical smell, like you would imagine. Some of them have kind of high fencing with fairly big parking lots, mostly full. The building itself is about two stories, and it looks like it mostly takes up a single warehouse that was here. Most of the siding on this building as well as the roof appears to have been refurbished. Hard to say when it had happened. The gates all clearly indicate that they are electrified. So warning, do not grab, do not touch. And outside, kind of keeping an eye on the property, you can tell that there are 2 hoplite suits.
Perhaps Phantom should know what they are, but are we discussing like powered suits type of thing?
Yep, that's exactly what they are. They're typically they're police issues, so this must be some sort of private arrangement that they have security wise for additional security.
Okay, so known Earth technology.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like the SWAT team that gets called out whenever police have to handle some SPB.
So subvocally through normal communications, initial observation, 2 guards, hoplite defense suits, and then we'll do a quick traverse around the building at speed, looking for other external defenses without really approaching, so he's not triggering anything, and also looking for potential ins to the building.
Okay. So why don't we start with your agility just to ensure that you don't run into anything by mistake as you're dashing around and hitting some tight turns.
Thanks for jinxing me. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Good luck. You'll need it.
Yellow feet.
Nice.
Oh, such a jinx. So you're able to hit those turns without much of a problem, kind of scout out and around. Why don't you give me your intuition so you get some of the finer details?
Green feet.
Okay. So you pick up, obviously, on some of the standard things. The electrified fence. You can see that there are security cameras in the area. You can also tell that the building, as well as the fence and noticeable cameras, do seem to have some sort of shielding to them. So that means they're likely hardened against EMP. So it's, they're clearly taking the security seriously. Obviously, you see the 2 guys in hoplite armor that are, keeping an eye out on the place. They also do have additional armored but lightly armored security officers that just kind of walk around and keep an eye on the place. There's only 2 entrances that come in. Obviously, the front, where most customers will come in, and then there's a back entrance that's where they accept shipments. There's also a helipad here in case anybody flies in for whatever reason or hovers in. So there's also that, but that still accesses through the back.
Does the front entrance, when you said like customers would enter, does it look like a customer friendly entrance insofar as like they have walk-in business?
Yep.
Okay.
Probably not often, much like like if you went to a car detail place, there's not a lot of people that need car detailing just to walk in. A lot of times they'll just make an appointment. But yeah, it's got a front facing business with posted hours and everything.
Upon the circuit of the building, there are several additional basic equipment guards. And I also see several security cameras with perhaps extra material to protect them against EMP or other energies. Um, but I do not see any particularly sophisticated or advanced or exotic technologies.
Okay.
Interesting that these guys would contract with Hoplite for security. I wonder if they. I wonder why they would do that instead of using their own. They're doing that for show, maybe.
It can
Yeah.
be easier to outsource that help rather than having that type of guard being on your payroll, especially since Hoplite would be there to protect against specifically SPB incursions. And given the likely high value of some of the things they're storing there, they would want to protect against all comers, not just genetically typical humans with guns.
So I just wonder what variety of people are actually in their employ that they wouldn't have their own security personnel.
I mean,
Guess we'll
they
see
might
when we decide.
they might have their own security inside, but I think it also kind of makes them look more legit if they have police issued um, security on the outside. But if
As a recognizable threat.
yeah, if they're doing business with, I mean, I'm assuming like if they're doing business with this pirate group, which is very obviously not uh, non-Terran, they may have more the more alien aspects of things might be hidden deeper within.
Oh,
When we have our appointment there, I'll see what I can do while you're leading conversations. I can try to clandestinely project copies in certain areas, making sure that it isn't seen, to see if I can find out if there's more to that building than what they're showing. To Pulsar's point, there may be something literally deeper. We don't know if there are any sub levels.
yeah. Okay. I can do an empathy scan too and see what their
I wonder if it's
employee
possible.
base looks like.
I wonder if it's possible if there's any like kind of like how we've been masquerading as Aesir out in space. I wonder if there's any uh, people in this company that are claim or acting like humans, but they're actually uh, Heliopolins. You know, if the census is meant to be like a cleanse or like a consolidation of the Heliopolin like special genes or special families and stuff, it could there could be somebody in this company that represents that interest.
It is possible. If we get close to anyone of importance, executives or what have you, I'll see what I can do about looking throughout their body to see if their physiology matches that of a typical human, or if it's different and therefore alien. At the same time, doing an empathy scan may help to determine if these beings are not human. It's likely that thought patterns and feeling patterns will have at least some differences.
Over the comms, do you wish me to attempt to gain internal access and identify the structure of the inside?
With the amount of security they have on the outside, I think we'll leave the internal reconnaissance to what we'll do with our appointment. You've done an excellent job. Return to base.
Okay. And I think this time she will just poof them back to the vein.
Okay.
Instead of
Poof.
going the long. Yep.
Poof. What do you need? Poof. What do you need?
Poof. What do you need? All right. Well, at this point, if there's nothing else, we can go straight to the appointment. Give me 1 second, though. I need to use the bathroom right back.
Right.
Actually, I'll be right back too.
Gonna poof to the
I'll be
bathroom.
left front. Right back.
I think I'll
Like
use
that.
this opportunity to go grab a snack from the fridge as well. Be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I had pork chops with apple and onion sauce on top.
Nice.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I hope you brought
Very
enough
good.
to share with the class.
I know, right?
I would have had other stuff, but he threw away half the ingredients.
Well, that's a weird thing to do.
Is that commonplace in your society?
No.
Sean was the Heliopolis who said, "Let them eat cake."
Mhm.
Oh boy.
So, did I share on the messenger the picture of the grizzly bear that was like 50 feet from our truck?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. And then, have you ever heard of somebody catching a clam on a hook?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
I've
son-
caught clams before, but never on a hook.
My son goes, "Hey, Dad, I think I caught a rock." He's holding it up like this, and I'm like, "What is it? What are you talking? Oh my gosh, you caught a freaking clam!
Wow.
That's awesome.
Is that pretty rare, Dad? Like that's unheard of." So he was very proud of himself. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, we used to go. We have mud flats here, and we used to go clam digging every
yeah.
summer,
Mhm.
Oh,
and then we would
Jerome,
have a huge clam bake.
Nice.
Jerome, Brittany went to the restroom and Matt went to go get a snack. They'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I didn't see
We're
him on my
talking
way
about
back from the
clams.
bathroom, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
we
know
all
what to say.
film in the same studio.
Right.
We have separate rooms.
yes.
Right.
So Lost Tribes Gaming Center.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
The poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Yeah. I'm on thin ice. That's why I got shipped out to the East Coast facility.
Well,
So Brittany is back. We are going to continue. Now she's put her ears in.
she put her ears in. Where did she put her ears in?
All right. Well, so you show up for your appointment. I take it you show up in like a company car or just a personal car.
Sure.
We'll do the company
Ixion
car,
ship.
make it official. Whoa.
We are a tech company.
I know, right?
That's
Got to make an
advanced.
impression.
Yeah.
So as you enter, there is a very chipper looking woman sitting at the front desk. There's a fairly big front desk. There's 3 seats that sit off to the side. They're separate kind of bucket chairs for people who might be coming in and waiting for any reason. There's a TV that plays in the background that talks about. It's basically on a loop, a commercial for the company. It's like, ask us about extended storage rates. And then it's got like kind of some mock-ups with some actors that look like they're saying like, this alien tech fell in my backyard, what am I gonna do with it? We can help. and it's like that some sales rep is, talking about like how they can arrange for, it to be taken away. And then they've got some random, government person talking about, well, due to taxpayers cuts, we can't store this, at such and such location anymore. We need alternate storage methods. And it's like, Meridian has got you covered, sort of thing. And there's a little bit of a gleam on his teeth. Mike asked George to sing us the hold music. So
it's a hold music. Hold music. Written by Homestar Runner.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was legit the first thing that popped in my head.
So you come walking in. The lady sits at her desk and she says, she says, "Hello, welcome to Meridian Cultural Recovery Services. My name is Janet. How can I assist?"
Shoot, Janet.
Hi, Janet. We have an appointment with Cedric at 1 p.m.
Super. Hold one moment, please.
P.S. I should probably start the Crown Network just in case.
Probably. By the way, George, for your background music, Mike is just giving you a reroll.
Sweet. Thanks, Dad.
Is that to reconfigure said horrible music, or as a bonus or as a reward for good music? Yeah, take
How
it as
dare
you will.
Homestar Runner is a genius.
Yellow Feet on the Crown Network.
Okay, Ground
yeah,
Network is
nice.
established.
And Hyperion, his look is going to be of like a random human, not his like Mark look. That way he's her assistant.
Sure. Okay.
Do you have a specific name that you'd like me to call you?
Make
Mike.
it simple.
Mike. We will name him Mike.
Mike. Yep. There you go. Not Mark,
Okay.
but Mike.
But Mike.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll tell you what. You are instead you will be Mike Forks. Instead of Combs, you're going to be Forks.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure Mike can appreciate that. As he said, you can't go wrong with Mike. So anyways, she, apparently has paged him. Cedric comes walking out from the back. And he's in a nice suit, clearly. Not wearing a tie, but otherwise, it's very dapper, tailored and everything.
I'll shake his hand and offer him an actual business card.
Okay, so he, gladly takes that, takes a look at it, and sticks it in his coat pocket, and he says, "So, you had questions for us regarding the facility?"
Yes. You've taken the time to watch your little infomercial here on the screen. Can you tell us more about the services that you offer?
Of course. Why don't you follow me? I will take you back to one of our conference rooms. That way we have a little bit more privacy. And then he says something to Janet, just to, basically like hold his calls sort of thing, and walks into the back. Right as you clear the corner, you are you are met with somebody who looks like that, posted in the Facebook chat. So he's in a full-bodied suit, which also encompasses his face. There are wings that kind of come back off of his shoulder blades and down along the sides of his arms, kind of like the old school Falcon.
Yeah. Wow.
From Marvel superheroes.
Yeah. Dang.
And he says, "This is my chief of security, Night Rock. If you just follow us."
Well, not politely to him.
Okay.
Is he gonna follow us also?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, he stays quiet, but he just kind of follows. Follows Cedric at this point. When you guys get to the meeting, he just stands nearby. And he says, "All right, well, as I understand, you had some questions about the facility and what we offer. I'm sure there are options for prices. Is that the item in question?"
potentially, yes. We
Hmm.
have a number of objects, but this is the one of the most concern. I hope it's not premature of us to have brought it with us.
No, of course not. And he kind of glances at it. He says, "I'm sure we can accommodate an emotional support boot."
Mike, if you would give some more details about the object in question.
Of course, ma'am. Yeah, a little bit of a joke there. Those of us at the office, well, it has strange qualities. It is literally a boot that, through our research, we found has actually moved through quantum realities. It's actually slipped between dimensions. So the box here uh, actually helps to maintain its quantum signature in our reality so it doesn't keep slipping back and forth. But we haven't quite found a way to make that permanent, so we needed a place to secure it while we do more research.
He says, "Oh, I see." And so he kind of looks to Night Rock at that point, and he says, "That sounds very similar to some of the items that we have on hold from the former Shadestone company building."
Is that so? Shadestone contracts you for storage services.
No, the government has given us and this is the Cedric speaking again. He says, "No, the government is actually paying us a subsidy to do so."
That's good. I hadn't heard about Shadestone being active recently, so safer than
I don't know if they are or not. The particular items that we have came from the explosion and subsequent dimensional issues that were, I guess, took place downtown.
I remember it well. The traffic was terrible for months.
Yes, that it was. At that point, Night Rock speaks up. He says, "Those particular items in question, we have surrounded by interplanar topology stabilization spikes. That, in layman's terms, puts up a barrier between the dimensional anomalies and allows them and prevents them from interacting in a negative fashion."
Very impressive. Um, Mike, do you have further questions on the capabilities of the security here?
Well, those spikes actually sound very interesting. That might be exactly the type of security that our device here actually needs. Would you mind if we had a closer look at how that worked, how you actually store that type of material?
So the manager Cedric, he says, "Oh no, not at all. Of course, we often have people asking that prior to seeking to utilize our services." I got him. Mike is in the audience right now, and he's like, "Okay, seriously, every time somebody says Mike, I think it's my turn. You're evil."
Mike,
So you
what happened
can
to
go
Gold
wrong
yet?
with Mike.
Mike, 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 Mike. Guess what time it is? Hump day.
It's like when I'm watching a game
Oh,
recap,
right.
uh, and then I'm like talking to one of you in the chat. I'm like, wait, hey, wait. But why are you talking to me here?
So,
While this is happening, this discussion is happening, I would like to do an empathy sweep.
sure.
And I have a green.
Okay, so you detect empathy.
I'm just trying to get kind of a feel for maybe how many people are maybe around us in the facility and possibly a mental state.
So with the green feet, you have an estimate. You're picking up probably somewhere around 50. It could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. People in the facility in general.
Are they fairly spaced out or are they congregated somewhere?
They seem to be fairly spaced out throughout the building.
Do I get anything about a mental state?
Only the ones that are directly in front of you. Night Rock is clearly all business, and Cedric is all about making business.
Okay. All right. So far, so good.
So he, stands up at this point and gets his, key card with him. He says, "If you don't mind, we'll be bringing in another member of security, strictly for protection purposes. We do have some items here that we don't want tampered with for any reason. So I hope you understand. It's for your protection as well as mine."
And how you've been here about how long?
We were established, at least here in this particular area, about 2 months after the Nightfall or Skyfall War.
And your main business, New York based, if I understand correctly.
That is correct. Yes. That was obviously the site of the Skyfall War, or at least one of the predominant strike zones, and that's where our business originally took root. Initially in an emergency state, but then obviously there was business to be had in many of the major cities around the world, so we expanded quite quickly.
I see. Meeting a definite need.
So as you guys exit the conference room at this point, you are met with somebody else, also shown in the Facebook chat. So he has kind of a red and gold sort of outfit. Slightly winged and a little edgelord with some long hair to him. Very kind of
fingers.
90s.
Yeah. Okay.
And he says, this is one of our other security officers. This is Red Fox.
You employ strictly SPB staff?
No, we do not. But we have a mix. You may have noticed that there were some individuals in hoplite armor outside. But when we get closer to some of the other more high value lots that we tend to protect, we try to make our security as tight as possible, and of course employ SPBs who might have applicable skill sets.
And you're all transplants to Strongford then?
Who is that said to?
The security guys.
Yeah, they kind of nod and just shrug.
And I'll turn back to Cedric and say, do you hire any local talent?
It's possible, but
I understand
nobody.
Strongford has quite a SPB population.
From the sound of it, it does. But while we did conduct interviews, it just didn't work out.
See,
Not opposed to it, obviously, but we needed a certain criteria of SPB, and we did not find that here, at least from the applicants.
talent match, as it were.
Correct.
And do you have laboratory facilities as well, or is it strictly storage?
These are strictly storage. We do have some areas where we can conduct some testing, but it is not. It's not something that you would find like at a hospital or perhaps a restoration location of of that nature. We primarily hold on to things for other individuals and keep them safe.
So if we were to store our artifact here, any necessary testing would be done by us off-site.
Correct. In most cases. So he takes you into the facility, and you guys start walking around. You can notice that the temperature drops by about 10 degrees when you come in. And honestly, when you get into this section, it looks very similar to what you would imagine storage facilities would look like. There are several, just kind of closet-based, and marked rooms specifically, designed for smaller items. And so he motions around. He's like, all of our, every room that we have is self-sealed. It's also climate controlled. We have, depending upon what you have for needs, we have both small, medium, and large storage facilities. Obviously, there's a premium charge for anything, as he motions, if we need to maintain a secure force field or some sort of dimensional barrier. And he says, and I would be remiss if I failed to mention that we are now able to, especially at this facility, we are now able to successfully store arcane items. So we have some members on staff who are able to work with most arcane magics and conduct seals of that nature. But that is a separate wing, given the nature of some of those items. So we try not to put those that are too sensitive too close to one another. So as you can tell, he kind of motions around. We have a fairly large storage facility.
And Jerome, having worked at Shadestone and also being quite familiar with the the singularities from the explosion, does it look like they've got it well contained?
Well, you haven't seen any of that yet. You've just seen like
we're still in the hallways.
Well, yeah, you're walking along and looking at the storage facilities themselves. But he does stop and show you like some that are available, just like, open one up so you can see it. And it's very basic. Like they're, all of them come with a small table on there in case it's, something you just need to set up and get it off the floor or whatever have you. Lighting in here is powered by LED as opposed to fluorescent tubes or whatnot. So it makes it easier to maintain. But why don't you give me a reason check?
Yellow.
Okay. So yeah, as you're looking around, based on what he's saying, obviously they're marketing points, but you kind of wrote the book when it came to like dimensional anomalies. That was your theory that got published. Based on what you're looking at and what they have, yeah, it all of it looks pretty legit.
And I don't see any vulnerabilities.
I mean, anytime a place loses power, that's going to be a vulnerability. So obviously, the first question you would ask: do they have backup generators? You're without even asking, you're pretty sure that they have them. Also, it's impossible to tell what type of alien technology would do to this area. Somebody with superior technology or even magic getting into the place. But you would know that force fields between force fields and if it's arcane related, like if they actually have somebody who can do like the wards and protection, it's way better than most prisons.
I'll go ahead and speak into the crown and just say that this place is pretty legit, and I'm actually quite impressed with the uh um gosh, I just don't have words today. Contingencies that they've got, and the variety of the systems that they're using for each of these artifacts. And I'm going to mention Hyperion. If there's anything that you are going to do, you're welcome um, to do that. I don't know if you see an opening or if you want to chance it just yet, but boy,
Right. Have you been able to determine if this location has sub-levels? Have you done an empathy sweep to determine where the people are in this building?
I just had a general sweep, nothing too detailed, to see individuals kind of scattered around the facility. I didn't notice any in sub levels. Let me take another look.
All right.
Yellow this time.
Wow. Um, so you're not able to pick up anything below you specifically, and you would know that is because you can detect a barrier blocking you.
Oh, well.
Oh, very interesting.
So hard to say if it's psionic or force field in nature, but there's some sort of barrier.
My empathy ability seems to be blocked at the floor level here, which I've never encountered before.
Then there is definitely something underneath, and they have added security to prevent its detection. I agree with you on your previous statements. The technology that they're using, the breadth and scope of it, is extremely impressive. The amount of money being put into an operation like this, especially if it's cropping up throughout the nation and perhaps elsewhere, is also impressive. The financial backers must be, well, rolling in it effectively.
Dale, why don't
sounds
you
like
give
there
me
is
a
also
reason check?
it seems that there is also the potential to contain other SPBs.
Indubitably.
This technology could very well be utilized as a SPB prison.
Jerome, could I use a business and finance talent for a column shift on this?
Actually, you could 100%.
Nice. Okay. Red feet.
Wow. Okay. So when you sit down and think about it, this while it did come together fast, it also did come together because of an emergency.
Yeah.
So it sounds like one or more big players, probably as well as potentially even governments, probably quietly backed something like this because it was a potential threat that nobody had the capability of dealing with. So after the sky, this is, from a business sense, a very logical output of what happened due to the Skyfall War.
Then Hyperion will be like, thinking about this from a business aspect, it would seem that multiple wealthy individuals and or governments would have made a joint effort to accomplish this, especially after the Skyfall War. As you mentioned before, there was a definite need, and they decided to come together to satisfy that need. We're dealing with very powerful people, socially and financially. Jerome, are we like still walking down the hallway towards other like areas of the building at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. It's clear he's not taking you any place that's super secure.
Right.
But these would all be lockers that, if you were a customer, you might have access to. But the
Okay.
way it's being treated is it's very similar to a bank vault. So they're
Sure.
only going to be allowing X amount of people in at a time, and you would be escorted by security as well.
Okay. As we're walking along, he's going to use his penetration vision to just like look at the different pieces of tech that they have here to see if he can glean any knowledge about like what the capabilities of these, different sized vaults seem to be as they're walking past.
Sure. Why don't you give me an intuition check?
Intuition. There we go. Dow. Do I want to re-roll that? Do I have a re-roll? I do have a couple of re-rolls. I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
Do you need another one?
No, I'll have one left after this.
Okay. Does anyone else need one?
There we go. Green feet.
Okay.
So as you glance around, green feed is good enough. You don't get good looks at everything. You're estimating that they're probably, at least from what you've seen, they're about half full. Not all of them have something in it, but a few do. Several do. Oddly enough, not all of them look like they're fully formed. Like some of them might be like parts of something, giving you the impression that some people may have purposely locked something away because they just weren't sure what the hell it is.
Sure.
But it was scary enough from whatever reading that they had that they figured we need to put this on ice so it doesn't like do something drastic. But you do end up seeing that like in one particular locker, you make out what looks to be potentially alien technology of some form, like a harness and what appears to be like a blaster rifle of some kind. Another one is very clearly some sort of alien engine in about 2/3 of a piece. Others, the ones that you can't see in are the ones that actually have arcane symbols on them.
Oh, okay.
So there are a few that you can't, but anything with an arcane symbol, immediately okay, they're not going to throw that up there for nothing. So
Yeah, right.
you just walk away with the assumption that there's probably something in there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's intermixed. All of it is, I wouldn't say it's junk, but it's definitely, you're getting the impression that a good portion of the stuff that's in here are things that people probably weren't sure about.
Yeah.
And they're not taking any chances. So they're locking it away for later use. But you do see a couple of like museum pieces. You're not sure where they're from, but like art pieces and whatnot that were probably locked down from a museum that took just too much damage. So they've got them here on storage for the time being, while maybe the original owners make claim to them or the museum is repaired. So there are definitely some art pieces in here as well.
So it's like a bevy of like some relatively normal things that were just involved in the Sky War,
Yeah.
and then some truly weird things like magic stuff and technological stuff.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I just had a frightening thought. Uh, what happened to Tyrex's body after we punch his head off?
Fell apart.
Oh, he just disintegrated?
Disintegrated, yep.
Oh, okay. Ooh. All right.
Into sand.
Yes.
Pulsar goes back to playing pickleball.
Because we all hate sand.
His head's in a jar next to Walt Disney.
Yeah. I was thinking like, oh no,
You
like
too, huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
like the future or like the Futurama heads.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to Cedric and say, QTech deals a lot in genetic testing as well. Do you have capacity for biological samples too?
We do. That is something we can assist with. Obviously, it's not something we can assist with the research thereof, but we do have
Yes,
secure
of course.
facilities that we can seal them down, and we have most known biological standards for containment processes, as well as many that have been provided to us by our new Tavaxian allies.
Oh, very impressive.
And he notes, he says, we only have one here that fits that particular description, but that was apparently something related to the Skyfall War. I'm not quite at liberty to say, but it was enough that the government wanted to put it on ice until they could fully research it.
I'm quite impressed, I must say. I do think I'm beginning to have confidence that you may be the right partner for several projects, perhaps not just this boot.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. We can always send you a brochure of our prices, as well as a copy of what our agreements look like. And of course, the pricing guide for what it is that you're looking for specifically, and documentation on hold harmless forms, as well as insurance paperwork for whatever it is that you might be storing with us.
I assume you have both short-term and long-term rates.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay.
We also have exclusive client rates, which get you a 10% discount, provided you don't your storage facilities remain with us, and that is also good for anywhere within the United States.
A loyalty program.
Correct.
What do I get if I fill out my punch card?
So he kind of chuckles. Red Fox actually chimes in uncharacteristically, and he says, "We can get you a free big gulp." And so they both kind of pause and they look at him. He's like, "What? It's what you normally get. It's what I get."
What a deal.
I like Red Fox.
Mike will chuckle at that a little bit.
So we'll continue to follow them through
Okay.
the facility.
He says, so was there anything else in particular that you were interested in? I know we're discussing your boot anomaly, but it sounds like there may be something else that you had in mind.
Mike, have we covered all the bases?
Well, it seems that they have storage solutions for literally anything that I could think of, and probably more. I didn't expect that they'd have something such as the magical warding. That's impressive. I didn't know that was an issue for anyone to need to store after the Skyfall War. Didn't know there were that many magical people doing things during that time.
Yeah, at that point, he chuckles. He says, "Well, I don't have the full details, but arcane storage issues have always been an issue, as far as I've been told. Not only for the paranormal villains who need to be jailed, but as well as any dimensional issues that they might have occur or have run into throughout their, I guess, adventuring or saving of lives. So this just seemed like a good fit.
You don't have a jail facility, do you?
No, we do not. We are not licensed for holding individuals in any of our facilities.
Ah,
At that moment, through the Crown Network, he's going to be like, check how he feels. Does that feel like honesty coming from him?
I will roll the empathy check.
Sure, go ahead.
Use karma. Oh, sorry.
Scored. Cooperate.
Like make it a yellow or something. Who knows?
Green. Is that good enough?
Yeah. He seemed you pick up a fairly confident attitude from him. He probably giving you the impression that he feels like this is going really well.
So he feels at ease with his answer
Correct.
or his comment. So I'll think over. He seems perfectly at ease.
Then he might not be involved in anything that could be nefarious, because we're fairly certain that this location did receive Heliopolis subjects. They may actually be downstairs. I'm hesitant to try to send a copy down there, because if they were able to block your psychic capabilities, and given what they can do everywhere else, they might be able to block my quantum projections as well.
That's my thought too.
Did you have any other questions for me? Was there anything else I could show you, like storage facility wise?
Were we able to see the interplanar spike technology, perhaps to hold a boot?
Of course, of course. So he walks you back, since you're talking about the boot, to one of the smaller, storage units, and he opens it up. And he says, under normal circumstances, our facilities, as well as what they're made out of, can hold most everything, including alien technology, depending upon its blast yield. He says, however, for items that are particularly sensitive to dimensional technology, and he kind of reads from a card at this point, trying to get like the talking points right, because it's clear that it's kind of above his pay grade, but he understands it because he wants to get it right. He shows that there's a control pad on the outside that and he says these are installed on just about every one of our storage units. And so he presses a code in, and then you see at the four corners of the room, spikes drive down into pre-designated holes, and you see some throbbing of electricity and some lights emanating from it, a little bit of a hum. And he says, and these are spikes that can house and block dimensional energies.
They're on different power sources, I assume.
Well, they are tied to the same power source that we have. We are actually not hooked up to the grid to ensure that should there be some sort of citywide blackout, we would not have a fail-safe system. But we have a primary generator that we operate ourselves, as well as a backup one to assist there. And again, this is true for all of our facilities. It just happens that some of them are larger than others.
How secure are your records?
How do you mean?
I mean, you keep your database typical digital format. Um,
We have currently technology demands that we have both physical and electronic copies that are kept. However, all computer systems that catalog the items here are not connected to the internet in any way. It is a self-sealed network, and any computers that are connected to the internet do not connect to these particular systems.
That's excellent cybersecurity. That makes sense.
Hi. I'm quite impressed. Well, if you will provide us with your pay pay tables, I can run that through uh, my accountant and see what kind of agreement we can come up with.
Of course, of course. So he motions, the security team that's with him to follow. Red Fox wanders off. Night Rock continues to, follow. He walks you up front, where Janet already has a customized folder with their like company logo on it. It's got nice glossy pages on the inside, as
A
well as
marketing brief.
yes, with the with all the paperwork you would need to fill out and select, obviously, for whatever locker that you might need. And of course, there's sections on here to write in any particulars that you might need in addition.
I will thumb through the folder and then hand it to Mike.
Yeah, and he'll take a look through and he'll thumb through as well, but memorize everything that he's looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when Janet was talking to us, she did seem weird, and so then based on what Hyperion mentioned earlier, he's gonna use penetration vision to look through her body to make sure that she has like human organs in the right
Sure.
places. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. No, I'm not even gonna make you roll. Yeah. When you look
Okay.
at her,
Yeah.
she sure does.
Okay. Good.
She has slightly oversized mammary glands, but otherwise,
Huh.
everything that is there should be there.
Okay.
Strange physical anomalies.
Make sure that's in the notes. That might be important.
Matt's like, okay then.
She hasn't got like 3 spleens or anything else
Nope.
like that. So.
Nope, nothing like that.
She doesn't have an extra toe.
No, she doesn't.
Right.
She does
Does she
have
have detached earlobes?
She has a vestigial tail.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
No.
kidding.
I mean, she has an extra brain, but who doesn't, right? I mean, that's normal.
Well, then I'll shake Cedric's hand. I will offer to shake Night Rock's hand,
Okay, he politely shakes your hand.
and I will tell them we'll be in touch.
Okay, and so at that point, he gives a wave, and they both head into the back.
Okay. So then once we leave and we get back in the car and we're driving away, Hyperion will be like, well, interesting. Granted, we didn't get to do as much clandestine research as we wanted to, but I think that was for the best. We didn't want to actually alert them, especially with SPBs themselves on staff and Hoplite on staff to boot.
Yeah, something tells me a raid of the facility is not going to be in the cards.
Right. Trying to hack their systems will also be impossible unless we find a way to physically access them and create a wireless connection point to it. But clearly, those systems are likely underground. within whatever force field they had. You mentioned that you had never experienced that type of blockage before with your psychic power.
Yeah, I mean, usually it just goes through things, you know? I guess it was some kind of a psychic block.
Yes. The degree of technology they have is able to counter nearly anything, which is clearly the point. And that's fantastic for legitimate businesses, which this seems more or less to be, but they could still be using that as a front, or this one particular facility is used in that way. Hmm.
I think we might as well see what low level artifacts we might legitimately store here, just, you know, as a ruse in case we need to come back here later.
That makes sense. Trying to think of what other means we would have of determining what actually made its way into that facility when it comes to the Heliopolis samples.
Do we know anyone that we could have them hire?
Hmm.
Anyone that has particular abilities that they might find in demand with this kind of artifact?
You mean with regard to this company or something else?
Well, yeah, um, somebody that some SPB that we know that we could essentially plant into the facility, maybe get access to the information that we're looking for.
What about the ones from the show that we did?
Hmm. Interesting.
The
Interesting idea.
the black market.
No, the international show that created the Ascendancy Initiative.
Oh,
No,
that show. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know that.
yeah.
I mean, they had quite
They're all official now.
array of
Well, but there,
talents.
I thought
Maybe one
maybe
of them would
some of the
fit what they need.
but there were
thought-
I,
there were some that did not get chosen.
Right.
I apologize for making such a wild and crazy suggestion.
Here it comes.
But
That
it
that's
occurred to
Russians
me
for you.
we're crossing a line
that if
again.
we wish to really gain the information, why don't you just ask?
Oh, I thought he was going to suggest his girlfriend from the show, the one that he was crushing on so hard.
Yeah.
Be like,
Oh.
really? What we need is her.
Yeah.
She
I
would be
thought he was-
perfect in all situations.
She and I will go undercover.
Exactly, right?
We
Under
we would
the
pose as a
covers.
married couple.
Yes.
I thought he
yes,
was
ma'am.
going to say
We
that was
must-
a
we
that was
must
a dishonest practice.
Yes, ma'am.
we-
We must consummate. We have to be. We have to be
But yeah,
convicted.
Our-
convincing.
Our roles must be perfect.
Although I think
They
King
must not
Phantom-
see this as play acting. Yeah, exactly.
In advance.
I think Heat Phantom does raise a actual valid point though. Was there anything about this place that seemed like it was not above board, or did it seem like it might be an actual legitimate thing? Because
No,
if it
it really did seem like a legitimate above board business.
Because if it is legit and it's backed by the government, and we start sending in spies to try to, if it's not going to be a good look if we do get found out. So, it depending on your assessment, maybe it wouldn't hurt to just to ask. But time will tell, I guess.
Asking directly if they're housing Heliopolis prisoners at their facility might be a bit forward, unless we posed ourselves as private individuals looking to store something illegitimate to see if they would actually accept that type of contract under the table.
We don't have any legal basis to be following the leads of these Heliopolins, do we?
As Quantum
We don't.
Unlimited and
We don't have any
subsidiaries, no.
jurisdictions.
Hence
Even as
why
the
we
legacy, we don't have a legal jurisdiction, do we?
technically not. We don't have powers to simply break into locations just because we feel as if something's wrong. Hmm.
Well, I would like to explore the idea of placing somebody on the inside. Um,
It may actually be prudent for us to, instead of trying to place someone there, which could take significant time, especially if they're not looking to hire anyone additionally, which it doesn't seem like they are, that perhaps we can speak to those who already work there, get information from them directly. They will have off time, such as Night Rock and Red Fox. We don't know where in the facility they've been. Perhaps they've been to secret locations that they themselves don't understand, or they could have access but simply haven't had a reason to go there because of their shift and patrol routes. But that would mean we'd need some social engineering with those individuals to see if they'd be willing to help us. It'll depend on their ethics and morals.
I got a feel for Night Rock, and he seemed very just all business. I don't know about the other guy. I wonder if there's any kind of after hours haunt that they would frequent.
Possible.
don't we have the that little pocket like dimension bar thingy?
Oh, the
That-
superhero bar.
Yeah.
I guess we could go there and ask if Red Fox shows up.
Oh, you mean Jimmy's?
Yeah, that one.
Exactly.
It does have a local portal, so I
Mhm.
suppose we might as well.
Are those two like are they known superheroes? Like
I never heard of them.
Helios, what information do you have, if anything, on the SPBs who call themselves Red Fox and um,
Night Rock?
Night Rock? Thank you.
When he was there, was the theme song for Sanford and Sons playing?
Yep, there you go.
If
He
they
was like,
played
my name is Red Fox.
Hey, Fred, where's the mic?
You big dummy.
You big dummy.
I loved it watching that show growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So Helios
I'm
comes
dumb.
back and he says, I have found a few news articles that have been reprinted online that cite these two individual superheroes.
What can we glean from those articles as far as what they do? Do they seem to be super heroic?
Yes, indeed they do. They have not conducted themselves at the level of the legacy per se, but they are believed to be known heroes. Night Rock has the capability of flying from the articles, as well as his wings seem to be some sort of metal substance that allows him to cut and otherwise puncture or damage material items, and he seems to have some capability with magnetism.
So he seems to be like one of the good guys.
If the pictures are to be believed, that is correct. and he
What's their
prints
popularity rating?
he prints one of them up, and it shows like Night Rock swooping over to some sort of supervillain craft that's trying to get away, and he's throwing crap into the VTOL engines, and it's like blowing up, sort of thing, keeping it grounded. If you want to put them at like a popularity rating ish as superheroes, they're probably somewhere in the range of 20.
Is that popular?
More popular than Zero.
Well,
Right,
Pulsar doesn't know what the
right now,
What's-
like
what's your
my
popularity?
my popularity is 51 is as Xenofreeze.
Yeah.
But we've also been in the limelight. So
Yeah.
20, that's probably about half as famous. We're probably famous worldwide.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
Lightbringer is, of course, even more so. But 51 as Xenofreeze, if I'm standing there silver, we could be standing on any continent and be like, "Hey!"
Yeah,
But
I'm a New
it might be
Prussia
like
98.
half
They're
the.
they're so famous.
Yeah.
They're infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They're in and out famous. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I
what?
have written on
Minute.
my sheet 33. So I don't know if that's been updated or I don't know if that's good.
I have a public, a private, and a New Prussia, and a Russia. I'm minus 50 in Russia.
Oh yeah, I have that
Yeah, I
updated.
think all of us are minus 50 in
Yeah.
Russia,
Yeah, we
Senia,
are
and their
hated.
allies.
Yeah.
Who cares what they think?
Exactly. You're not the boss of me.
Well, those of you who have been identified, I'm pretty clean on those fronts.
Right.
My merchandise is on the clearance aisle in Russia.
There's some young upstart 30-year-old named Putin that's like ramrodding this hatred for us.
Yes.
Like, wait a second. Wait, what?
But yeah, 20 is just above Red Grip.
Red grip.
I'm the Red Grip.
Yep, Red Grip has got about a 15.
Nice.
Okay. Actually, yeah. Oh, I have a question
This looks
about
like a job for.
Yeah.
as far as Night Rock and Red Fox. Like they weren't. What cities were they native to? Like, or were they based out of before or like during the Skyfall War?
Well, that's hard to say. The one article that you've got on Night Rock, he was in Los Angeles, California.
Okay. Okay.
Mike says he gets in free to mediocre clubs. Yeah, that's like the medium place.
Mediocre clubs.
Yeah, Night Rock was out in LA. Red Fox was in Miami.
Miami. Okay. Were
Going
both of
to
those places
Miami.
like just devastated in the Skyfall War that would facilitate like a move to Strongford to get this kind of work?
That would be hard to say. You'd have to do extended research for something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were major cities, so it stands to reason that they definitely took a pounding during the Skyfall War.
Okay.
It's a major
so
award.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to gain or like get an insight to like maybe a motive of why they might be, if the cities that they were protecting were just destroyed, it would stand to reason they would want to be a part of a place that's like, containing and keeping that stuff away from the public.
Sure.
Versus if they had Red Fox was known to gamble and is in a lot of debt, and so therefore he's working as a enforcer and just try to get a bit of character. Yeah.
No, there's nothing to see here. His employer just says he's the kingpin.
Wait a second.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Says he's best friends with a guy named Gorman Osborne.
Uh-oh.
Sounds normal.
Wah, wah.
Personal. It's a great personal reference.
Yeah.
So
Present.
Okay.
back in game.
Yeah. All right. Well, it could be possible for us to track one or both of them, Night Rock and or Red Fox, strike up a conversation with them, explain what we're dealing with, and our concerns. But we would need to make sure that Lightbringer is not the one who arrives because they'll realize what's going on immediately and might think that there's something underhanded afoot. We could try to lean on our popularity, but it might just be easier if different parts of our team met up with them, explained what was happening, and we see if they're willing to help us with that infiltration, if that's even possible for them.
Let me know what you think about this, since this guy seems to be on the up and up. Would we feel comfortable going to him with our suspicions that something nefarious is going on with the Heliopolins, and see if there was any information he'd be willing to give us about what was delivered?
I think honesty in this case would be the best policy. We simply give them the information that seems like they would need, that we believe there is conspiracy involving Heliopolins being gathered for some nefarious purpose, perhaps use of their genetic material to accomplish something.
Yeah.
We have reason to believe that a few of them have been transported to that one particular site and might be stored there. Would it be possible for whoever we talk to get any information they can on this?
Well, which one do you think would be more receptive?
It's hard to say. Hard to say.
I do have a question, just because I wasn't there when you guys because I was reading this is George, like in the notes it says like it's a genealogical material is what um was sent to this place. uh do do we know for a fact that that material was actually like living prisoners, or
We don't.
Genealogical material would infer family tree information,
yeah.
not gene information.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to ascertain, because I wasn't there and I wasn't sure if there was there was a confirmation that this would be, because if they sent genealogical material here, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a prison of Heliopolins in here.
No, but
Um,
you have to remember that that transport had Heliopolins on it, but nobody now knows where they are.
and we know that transport came to this place, or
No, it's just that the professor let us know that the same registry number used on the ship that they found
Mhm,
and he helped kind of go through was also used on a different transport ship that was used to bring diplomatic stuff in. I do believe we think it is the genetic material, genealogy, whatever it is,
mhm.
to this facility.
We don't know if it's genetic samples or
If it's
actual
actually
Heliopolins.
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
So I would like to be able to find out if some of my people are there or if they have relatives of my mother there. You know, you
Uh,
know what kind of worries me is the professor said he hadn't heard from Sobek in a long time. Sobek served under my mother. Um,
um,
I just I want to just to ease my mind that he's not part of that transport.
Shown. You've mentioned a few times now that Sobek effectively worked for your mother. Do you know if he has any genetic relationship to your family?
Jerome.
No.
Okay, no.
In
But
a
he
bold,
was,
manly voice.
but
No.
he did work under her house.
Um, is this
Foundational repair. Sorry. Under her house.
and we also based on your interview with them, we know that there is government support for this facility. Would this be something we may want to take up the chain to like our senator contact to get more information on? Because
Like,
I
um,
He may have some insight to it, perchance, or he can get some insight to it.
because
We
I
may,
think
we stand a potential,
Mhm.
though there are many orange, if not red flags that have been raised for this particular situation, that he may be able to placate or even reprioritize some of that information.
he may even be able to, because we have a connection with the senator and they're if the US government is the one backing this, be able to get the legacy in there to, especially because shown is a Heliopolis, we might be able to get deeper access to it in an official case. My
what's, what's
the thing that I'm worried about is, potentially the more we dig and the more we clandestine into this facility, if it is government backed, the moment they find out it's us, that's gonna be not so great for our standing.
We could we could stand the potential of becoming enemies of the state.
Or you can just ask the Tavaxians for the manifest info for the ship.
the Tafaxians were the ones who had my people.
Were they pirates or were they official Tavaxians though? Because I thought you guys
We
said
don't
that there
know.
was
Did
okay.
you didn't see them, did you?
No, we didn't run into any of these individuals. The information we had came completely from the professor. He's the one who did this research.
I wonder if they had any hair.
That was my thoughts exactly. That was my
That
thoughts
would,
exactly.
would indicate their standing in their own society.
Correct.
He wouldn't
Lightbringer,
have known because they weren't there.
would you be able to contact our Tavaxian allies in their embassy here on Earth and see if they can provide us with any information on Tavaxian vessels that came here? Perhaps they have some information on that, or can at least
Certainly.
begin to look into it.
Certainly, I can ask.
Excellent.
Okay.
Great
And
suggestion, Heat Phantom.
and what's that?
Oh no, I was saying great suggestion to
Oh.
Heat Phantom.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's where we're going to pause for the night. So we'll pick this up again in 2 and 2. So in 2 weeks. So we have RP votes to do. We're going to start off with George.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go with Matt. I think Matt made a lot of really good points about keeping things above board. That I think sometimes we tend to go with the sneaky route, and sometimes the best answer is just to go, "Hey, can I borrow some sugar?"
Sure. Dale.
I'm going to go for Matt for pretty much the same reason. Yeah, I had some good ideas.
Okay. Brittany.
Yeah, ditto.
Okay. Shelly.
Yeah, a moral compass.
Okay.
Hmm.
Matt.
I think I'm going to go with Shelley. I mean, it was still her story arc, her character development. We're still digging into information related to her, and she got to talk about her family.
Okay. And Derek.
Shelley stole my words. I was going to say moral compass, but now I just look like I'm copying. But yeah,
Copycat.
Sure.
Come up with your own stuff.
I know,
Alright.
right?
You guys
I
find
don't
like
think it
your
was moral
siblings.
compass
You're-
so much as
you're-
just keep it simple.
Okay,
stupid.
okay,
I mean,
okay,
Right, yeah.
okay, fine, fine.
Okay,
He's our,
Mr.
he's
Kiss.
our moral guiding device with magnetic parts.
Helios has her hand raised.
Yes, Helio. Oh, wait a second.
I forgot. Can I
Do a power stunt.
Do your part.
can I do a power stunt?
Sure. Go ahead. Make a roll real quick.
Okay.
While she's at the storage facility.
I think Hyperion is more of like
No.
our legal
I'll
compass.
do it in the car. I'll do it in the car.
In the
Legal
car.
business
Oh, wow.
compass.
Yeah.
Because that won't look awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Pulsar gets arrested, he's going to call He Phantom first. I need to call my lawyer.
Yellow! Yay, I only need one more green.
All right. Good job.
No,
Okay.
you need 3 yellow and 3 green.
So for those
Yeah,
of you
Not a yellow. Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, our next game coming up is next Thursday. That's going to be Kingdom of the Shattered Crown. That's our D&D game. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the week after that, which is the week of the 12th, on the 12th we have Star Wars. That starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then we have Mythic Savannah, our World of Darkness mixed game, on the 14th. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we'll be back with this particular game again on the 15th. So thank you guys for hanging out with us, for finding us for the first time, or just chatting and hanging out. And we will catch you all again next time. Good night, guys.